October 9th. That shit released just about 11 o'clock. Anyway, what's going on, guys? How's it going? It's your boy CJ Baller. We're here with some more patch notes. We're going over patch 0.5.8 of Dauntless. This one's gonna be it's gonna be about 14 quality of life fixes. So let's go ahead and run through them. I waited forever for this patch to get here, and it seemed like they just held it for so long. So let's go ahead and go through it. There's not gonna be anything big. I'm pretty sure there's not gonna be anything big. There's probably gonna be like minor tweaks in there. I'm sure they're gonna do some stuff with the repeaters. I skimmed through it a little bit, but I didn't go through all of it as I wanted it to be a surprise for all of us. So anyway, let's go ahead and check it out. So the first bullet added mouse and keyboard sensitivity options. Why did I say opinions? Oh my god. Anyway, so we're going to be getting some sensitivity options. I'm not too sure how that's supposed to be. I think the game's pretty solid, but I guess some people may want some higher sensitivity. I have a mouse that a lot of us who use mouse and keyboard, we have sensitivity. I think the controllers kind of have their own thing for that too as well. So like whenever I want to adjust my sensitivity, I know I use a higher sensitivity whenever I use the warp bikes, but whenever I use like the axe or whatever, or if I'm using anything that uses attack speed, I use a higher sensitivity. But if I use anything that's slow, I go with a more of a moderate, not a really fast sensitivity. So I guess there's no problems with that. All right, fix the bug that caused Slayers to be unable to customize their repeaters in the airship. This is the exact thing I was talking about. Could someone pick up the phone? Cause I called it. We did not have to have this. Well, maybe you gotta give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it happened after they put the code in and they just figured out, holy crap, this is not happening like this. So hopefully they fixed it. I really want them to fix that. All right, so repeaters will now stay firmly affects to Slayers bodies in Ramsgate. I don't know. I actually never carried my repeaters around. No, not too much. I still gotta do them. Everybody was running around with repeaters, and I just decided to help people. I just started to help other players get their things together. So that's kind of what I was doing. I'll wait. I'm sure in time I can actually get them done and then start putting out builds more effectively on those things. But until then, like, I'm waiting. I'm not really in a big rush. Okay, so that's all right. I guess that's everybody wants to show off their repeaters. By the way, guys, get some skin for repeaters, dog. We were even talking about that in the stream. Get some skin for the repeaters. I thought we were gonna have like one, maybe a Western skin or something like that. Come on, Halloween skin for repeaters. Let them shoot pumpkins or something. That'd be pretty dope. All right, fix the bug that could prevent players with high ping from unsheathing or attacking. Whew. That hurts, dude. That definitely hurts. I know a lot of players are playing from maybe some bad cases, bad areas for the internet and stuff like that. So this is something we definitely needed. Like, good job on that one. I ain't even mad at you. Please help with that. And if it hasn't been unsheathing, well, maybe like it's disrupt, like it's not readable or something like that. So hopefully that actually gets taken care of. That is something very important, especially for younger players who are playing from maybe some place that just doesn't have that good internet, or they don't have that good internet, or like there's like tons of people using the internet. I don't know. Whatever the situation may be, that's a good fix in my book. Repeaters equipped with a ballistic chamber can now interrupt behemoths if the player has weighted strike +6. What? They already get a buff? They got a buff? Not only are they the safest, they got a buff. I'm gonna hear about this tomorrow. I'll hear about this tonight. Oh man. Yes. Good job. Buffs are good. Before I get the repeaters, give them all the buffs they can. Slightly extended the range and greatly extended the height for the repeaters. Empowered reload, making it easier to work around vertical limitations. What? 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 Two buffs. Two buffs, one patch. Oh my gosh. Two buffs, my patch. Two buffs, one patch. Dear, I can't believe it. Slightly extend the range. Like, that's crazy. Range extension. The range has been extended. That's so good. That's so good. Oh my gosh, good job. Like, oh my gosh, that makes it even better. That's I'm like, it's a little bit further now for the. Oh man, yes. It may not be too big, but every little bit counts when you're talking about being safe and Dauntless. Any further you can be from the behemoth is a plus. Slayers can now rebind control related to the repeaters without interfering with other controls. I guess that's good. I mean, if you like the feel of one, if you like the feel of a way of doing it, then I have no problem with that. So definitely, you can make it feel more like you're more like a certain game that you've already played in the past, which is how, you know, key bindings work. If you're comfortable with this, with another game that you've spent multiple time, key binding it as close as you can so that you know what key is what makes it a lot faster to learn it. So yeah, that, in my opinion. So yeah, that's pretty good, especially for repeaters being so. There's more. There's a lot of shooters, so that's pretty solid. That's pretty good. Repeater players will no longer be able to break out of freeze status by holding down their primary attack button. I did not even know that was a thing. All right, yeah, okay, cool beans. That, oh man, that would have been like, especially the people who haven't done Pangar or something like that yet, or Frostback. Yeah, you haven't done Frostback. Yeah, they're getting some free stuff. They're getting some good runs, some pretty solid runs. The naming term for repeaters parts have been changed to exclude. Okay, so they're gonna naming the parts. They're going to put it to more practical names. That the names didn't really matter as long as you knew this is like this is the next level of it. It could have been like, they could have just put tier 1, tier 2. They didn't have to put like the advanced or whatever. They could have been like, tier 1 gun, tier 2 gun, tier 3 gun, or beginner, advanced, no, etc. Like, you know what I mean? That's probably what they're doing, but like, they didn't have to do it like that. They could have just let you know like the beginner guns. It could have been something simple. I just can't wait until like they make more types of these things. That's what I'm waiting on. More types of guns and more types of repeaters with more effects and stuff like that. Or maybe repeat, or I don't know. The repeaters have a lot of potential, and I think they definitely have a home here. I think they should do some more things with them. Walking into a behemoth will no longer trigger a landing roll animation. Okay. All right. Oh man, maybe that could help you, like, you know, get away from situations. But all right, I understand. I definitely understand that. Players are now able to use the communication wheel while the repeaters are unholstered. I didn't know they were unable to use that. I didn't know they were unable to do that. I personally thought that you'd be able to I personally thought you were still able to do it, but I don't. If your guns are out, I don't think you should have to use emotes anyway. So whatever, your guns are out, you should be doing business. You should be handling your business. Anyway, fix a bug that caused armor to sort alphabetically instead of by power. I don't know if that's too big of a bug. I would rather other things getting taken care of before this, but if it was super easy to fix, yeah, that's cool. Setting it up by power would be nice. yeah, it would definitely be nice by level. So if you know if there's anything like that, but if it was alpha, I don't really, it doesn't matter to me if it's alphabeticalized. That's pretty good. I would actually have it set up by behemoth. If there's yeah, from I would like it to be set up by behemoth. Like the late game behemoths are at the front, and the weaker behemoths are at the back. Or like behemoth, like all the shrouds are here. Like you can clearly see there's an area with all the you know, there's like shroud, which is there's only one shroud. Then all of this is Reza, like shroud, Reza, and then you have the Ember Mains, which is the Bloodfire, and then Ember Main. You have Chirag, and then you have like the Quill Shots. Then you have the Shrieve. Like all of them are like all like, you know, you have the beginning like the tier 4, tier 2, and tier 3 behemoths, if it was set up more like that, if you understand what I'm getting at. But other than that, alphabeticalized, it doesn't really matter to me. I know exactly what I'm looking for. I know what I usually go by what's on you know, what behemoth I'm looking for as far as weapon, as far as armor piece, and what's on it. So that's pretty much what I determine. All right, there's two Pangars. So there's two Pangars. I can either read what it is, or I can just know, all right, I only use this Pangar, so it has cells on it, or this cells are on this one and this cells on that one, whatnot. So that's the way that I go about it. But if you did it by power, that'd actually be good. By levels, that's actually fine, whatever, if you fix it. I just hope that didn't prevent us from having other things. And the next one is fix the bugs that cause slayers to load into a dark city. I've had that bug looks so sick. That should be the Halloween one, or hunt. Had that bug too. I had the city one, and I've had the city one, and I've also had the hunt one, where everything was dark and you couldn't interact with anything. See other slayers without their armor, or experiencing latency when hunts or in Ramsgate. They also have that same thing with when you're with the airship. They just like, it's just, I don't know if that's just like a bug or latency or whatever. So now I just figured out that it's a bug, and I was like, okay, I didn't know if it was just latency, but I'm glad that's fixed. You know, that's one of the things that's like visual, just kind of get that out of the way, just as long as it didn't take too much time to take care of other things. Repeaters have undergone a audio mix. Okay, so they upgraded the audio mix pass to normalize and balance volume levels. So they balanced it. They gave it a little, I guess they did a little bit of tweaking on the audio so that it could be a lot better than what it was. I feel like they rushed it, but they gave it just enough for it to pass all of our expectations. Just enough to pass all of our expectations. And then they threw out the buffs and all that. I would like for you guys to organize your patch notes for, I know it's like quality of life, but if it was a lot of things about repeaters that should have been back to back to back to back to back, so we can get that topic out of the way. And then, like, you know, it would help people who are doing content like this. Also, it would be just great to group a bunch of things. Like if you're talking about gameplay wise, if you're talking about gameplay wise, that would be there. If you're talking about if you're talking about like mouse, keyboards, and if you're talking about things that are in the settings detail, that would be, you know, you'd have like a settings detail or something like that. I know they're just kind of like throwing this out because they threw this out literally before. If they had to release it on the 9th, it had to be at 12 o'clock Central American time. So that's like where I'm at. It had to be before 12. I start my stream at 10:30. So they literally had like an hour and 30 minutes to throw this out there. So I mean, like, I know they don't take time to they may not have time to organize it, or if they're just kind of like Let's throw it out now. But if you would organize it a little bit better, if all like if we're gonna most of the patches gonna be repeaters, have like all of them, you know, repeaters. Or if there's a buff to certain things, have it all set to buff for certain things. It'll be a lot easier to go through. You can set it like buffs, nerfs, and stuff like that. That would be pretty simple. And then you know, interphase and then you know, visual fixes or like visual fixes or sound fixes and stuff like that. That could be in the same category. That would make it a lot easier. So, on my opinion, this patch was a lot of fixes and a lot of tuning for the repeaters. Repeaters got a buff, so that's really solid. That's really good. I think that we still have a little bit ways to go. We're gonna be in open beta for quite some time, but as far as I know, this is pretty good. This patch was not a bad patch. If I had to rate this patch, I would definitely give it a 5 out of 5. It wasn't bad. It wasn't all that. It wasn't bad. It wasn't all that good. It was a patch. It was definitely a patch. So guys, thanks so much for jamming out with me. Please be safe and careful. If you want to jam out with me, I stream on Twitch every weeknight and Saturdays and Sundays. My Twitch link will be down below. Thanks for jamming out with me, you guys. Please be safe and careful. Have a awesome day.